what is going on? Robbie94LS here. And I'm not sure when this video is going to come out because it takes me forever to get anything out these days. But anyway, I went to the DC Auto Show in January. And the DC Auto Show has, we'll say, gone downhill since the pandemic started. 2020 it was canceled. 2021 it was not when it usually was. Brands started pulling out. So in the grand scheme, it's like a really small show now. You can go and look at some of my past videos. In the past years, I've done YouTube productions, and posted about them. This year, knowing it was going to be a small show and knowing I don't have the time or necessarily even desire to lug down multiple cameras and stuff and do my thing I used to, I just took my phone, concentrated on social media this time, put stuff on Instagram, TikTok, and figured let's try to also make a video out of it here. So I was a little surprised with what I liked, with what was there. Again, no Euros were there. Dodge wasn't there. Not necessarily the biggest loss there, but okay. But one of my favorites was the GR86. And I didn't like really the first gen of that, the FRS. And the refresh looked a lot better. But man, you know, I haven't driven it, of course, but sitting in it, man, it feels good. Like, it feels sporty. And honestly, I know people are probably going to, you know, get worked up about this, but I, at least sitting in it, think it feels better than the Supra. The Supra, at least I feel claustrophobic in it, and at the same time, it feels really big. And those of you who know me, I'm a small car guy. I have a Fiesta ST. My first love car was an Integra, hence my name, 94LS. And I like little cars. It is what it is. Like, I had a Focus ST that felt too big, and I traded it for the Fiesta ST, which I love. So GR86 was amazing. The GR Corolla, it's very much a Corolla inside, but I mean, it seems awesome. I mean, it doesn't feel as sporty as the GR, like sitting in it, but look at where it's coming from. I know reviewers like them, and hey, I don't have money, but if I did, it'd be on the list as a daily. I mean, as a Fiesta ST replacement, and it's all-wheel drive. I have to go to work in the snow, so hey, that works. Now, what I call my realistic or semi-realistic dream EV, Ioniq 5N. I am so surprised Hyundai even had this here, because this thing is not even technically out yet. So they didn't have price information on it. They didn't have really any information on it, power numbers, anything. But they had the car there. And one of the things I didn't like so much about the regular Ioniq was the minimalist interior. It was a little too minimalist for me, like too open. They've changed that. You'll see. I'll put a little video up somewhere and you can see. But it looks promising. Now, again, realistic dream EV, because it's going to be like, you know, probably an attainable price, as they say, to the average person. Well, I guess I'm not the average person, because whatever it is, I'm sure I won't be able to afford it. Not that I'm interested in this, but just for the sake of being what it is, Kia also had the EV9 there, which again isn't out. And I actually walked by it at first, kind of brushing it off, and then I stopped and said, wait a second, is that the EV9? And I walked back, and sure enough, it was. So cool. I didn't get in. There was a ton of people looking at it, but looking at it inside out, it looks great. Like, kind of like, you know, you'd expect. Short of that, then one of the things that interested me was the new Mustang, the S650 just the GT. They had the Dark Horse they wouldn't let anybody sit in, but the regular GT was there, and uh, the new Coyote is wild looking. That dual intake is mean looking. You know, weirdly enough though, it feels basically the same as the 550. And I know it, like, they're calling it an all new generation, but really it's like just a really good refresh. There is some different switch gear, which is nice, and the dual tablets, whatever you want to call them, that was cool. But like the center console is identical, door cards are identical, seats are damn near identical if they're not identical. And of course, it feels big to me too. But I mean, I'd love to just, that's an engine. I would love to have a weekend with one that was not a rental. And lastly, this is going to seem really nerdy, but the Prius, and I'm going to say this because nobody watches these videos, and I know that now. I'm now a Prius enthusiast. So we ended up getting a Prius, a 2010, so it's a third gen Prius, and it's a long story. It was not the car we chose, which, because of course I probably would have never chose a Prius, but now that I've had one, I definitely choose one. It's a great daily. The new one, from what everyone says, they've just built upon it basically. I sat in it. It feels amazing, and of course it's quick now. I will say that the third gen, I've been in some dicey situations where it's been dangerously slow, like pedal to the floor for what feels like an eternity, and cars still coming down on you quickly. But the new Prius looks amazing, and you could get it in a Prime plug-in version. And and the Prime is nice and all, but for the price, I don't know. I found one that was not a Prime, but it was all-wheel drive. That's probably how I would spec it personally. But yeah, can't beat it. So it was fun. Not as great as it has been in past years, and I'm expecting the same next year, but I will go next year. And if you don't follow me on social, follow me, and you will see stuff. And it's honestly probably the next upload you're going to see here too. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, Robbie94LS on everything. And see you next time.